Hello and welcome. Happy Monday. We are back here at Dappz Live. This is the show where we talk about sports, laugh about sports. And if you're a Jets fan, we're crying about sports. It seems like you were supposed to write a different team into this segment every week, but the Jets, they're this recurring spot in the spot where you cry if you're a Jets fan. Dylan, help me, dude. Help me.
How?
Guys, get in the comments now. Drop your questions, and we will answer them. Follow the page, and be sure to DM us what you want to see on this show. Remember, Dappz Live every single day, 12 p.m. Pacific time, live. And today, back to Blackbeard himself. Dylan, do you have anything to say about the Jets, bro?
Yeah, I love the Jets. The Jets are a heartwarming team. They're the runt of the litter, and if they were at a pound, I would adopt them. And then for the rest of its life, I'd be like, why did I do this?
Yeah. It's so horrible. Somebody made a video today on Instagram, and they were like, just treat the Jets as a small business, and just they're going out of business. They're done. It's over.
Yeah.
The company's over.
Yeah.
Like, it no longer exists. It's
Yeah.
over. He was like, the Jets were good in the 60s. That was the last time they won, when Joe Namath showed up drunk, ripping darts, throwing some touchdowns.
Sure.
When half the guy, CT wasn't even born yet. It wasn't even a thing.
No.
And half of his teammates were mechanics.
Yeah, they call it getting your bell rung.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Amari, thank you for watching. Appreciate you. We will do a post daily, absolutely. Before we get into the show, though, Dill, let's take a look at our favorite bets of the night. Monday Night Football preview, and I'm all over the Bills minus 3.5. This was 4.5 earlier this week, which makes me believe this is the trap of the century, and somehow the Falcons are gonna beat the Bills.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Yeah, it's super scary.
Yeah,
it's really scary.
Super scary. This line should be 10. And it's 3.5. I don't get it. I'm very frightened. What I'm not frightened about, though, is I think the Bills and the Falcons can put up points, at least in Atlanta, in the Dome. I need them to put up points for fantasy purposes. I got James Cook. I got Josh Allen. Like, I need 50 points.
Ooh, should we talk about how condescending you were to me earlier this week in fantasy, and that you were guaranteed a win, and now you're losing to me very badly, and you have a 1% chance of beating me?
Well, here's the thing about that. I don't recall any of the me being condescending at all.
Okay.
I don't recall any of that.
Oh, great. Crazy.
I believe it, but listen, Garrett Wilson, Cortland Sutton put up a combined 4 points.
Ugh.
You're not going to win. You're not going to win. Let's just be real.
So Bills minus 3.5. This is a very, very concerning line. It feels like for some reason Vegas knows this is a field goal game, and it shouldn't be a field goal game.
The Bills should win this by not 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. Very Saints, like reminiscent of the Saints game where the line was like 13.5. Bills went up. Saints kept it close for some odd reason, except this game is a 3.5 point line instead of a 13.5 point line. But you know what? Vegas gets it wrong sometimes, and I could still see the Bills winning by 3 touchdowns.
Do you have any appetite for an alt line just going, absolutely not, fuck this trap, I'm going hard on the Bills, minus 10? Yeah.
I would just buy the half point just to make sure that if they did win by 10, a touchdown and a field goal, you would cover.
Can I ask, though, what happens to the Bills if they don't cover against the Saints, don't cover against the Pats, don't cover against the Falcons? Are you worried about the Bills?
Yeah, I mean, the loss last week, I think you got to be somewhat worried, right?
Yeah.
You got to be that you lose to the Patriots, like a very, very inferior team to the Bills. I don't care about all this Drake May hype. I like Vrabel, but like there's no situation where the Patriots should be beating the Bills. And by the way, the reason that they beat the Bills was because the Bills were committing turnovers on their own zone. So the Bills beat the Bills. In my mind, the Patriots didn't beat the Bills.
Yeah, it's important to know factually and truthfully, though, that Drake May is a better quarterback than Josh Allen for a fact. But we can get to the next game, the Bears versus the Commanders.
This is one of those games where I think either team can win. The Commanders should be a far superior team than the Bears. Listen, they needed a Hail Mary to win last year. I think Caleb Williams looks way better this year than he did last year. I like Ben Johnson on the team. The Bears are sneaking out some wins. They're playing good football. Rome Odunze looks like wide receiver number 1. I'm thinking in a game like this, give me 5.5 points. Just give me the points. I think the Bears could win the game, so of course I'm going to take the points.
Is that a trap?
No, this is not a trap the way that Bills -3.5 is a trap, the way that Cowboys -3 is a trap. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a trap. The Bears, this could be a touchdown game. Bears lose by a touchdown. This is where some weird stuff happens, and you're like, why is the game 25-20? How did that happen?
Liam says G&G. There's no way you're saying Drake May is a better QB.
I think he's saying gang. I think you're just
gang.
not keying to it.
Gang.
Liam, listen, gang, you're right. There is no way that this dude next to me, Blackbeard, is saying that Drake May is a better quarterback than Josh Allen. I think he said that to piss you off, Liam, so he's done his job. But, Liam, don't believe all the things you see
Liam,
on TV.
I don't think you're pissed off. I think you're zen. I think you're just watching along and you disagree with that.
He probably
opinion.
is zen, and he's like, this guy doesn't know ball. You know what I mean? That's
I know ball.
I'm not. I didn't say
I know
it.
ball.
I didn't say it. I'm saying that's what Liam probably thinks. Okay?
Well, don't piss me off, Liam, because I know ball.
Let's get into an anytime touchdown.
We got you anytime.
We got you anytime, baby. Anytime touchdown locks tonight. James Cook. I mean, come on. 18 touchdowns last year. There's no way he's going to do that again, except he's on pace for it.
Dragons breathe fire. James Cook scores touchdowns.
It's just science. All right, guys. It's absolute science. James Cook coming off a 4-point fantasy week last week. Expect a big game from him indoors. It's going to be a slugfest. I think a lot of points are getting scored. Bijan, come on. Bijan -170. Like, this is too easy. Bills are a top 5 team or top 8 team to let up a touchdown to.
And that's why I like the feast day bet. 2 touchdowns plus 320. I kind of like it.
On Bijan. So if he scores 2, it's plus 320?
Yeah.
Wow. You can bet that every week.
I kind of love that.
Yeah.
I kind of love that.
I mean, you might as well bet that. Bet first touchdown scorer, last touchdown scorer, just every beat.
First
every
touchdown's
Bijan.
like plus 1,100. Let's go. Let's sprinkle a little bit. Gambling's fun, okay? Cook is going to have 0 touchdowns and 0
You know,
yards.
that's a friend of mine, and that's actually Mikey, and he's playing me in fantasy tonight.
Oh, okay.
So he needs Cook to have 0 touchdowns and 0 yards.
Hey, Mikey.
Yeah.
I agree.
Listen, Mikey's up 50 points. You feel good, but also you see that projection at 6 points to beat the other guy. You're like, I'd like that to be 16.
It's not
I'd like
enough.
that to be 26, right?
Yeah.
So I'm the one sweating, but Mikey is definitely watching that game.
Kick your feet up and drop the lime in the Corona. You're doing okay.
All right, let's check the receivers, guys, on the anytime. We've got you anytime. Rome Odunze plus 145. I mean, this guy, it seems like he scores every single week. I love this bet.
He's the wide receiver 1, clear as day. The DJ Moore hype going into the season was stupid.
And also, Luke McCaffrey, though, this is such a sneaky play. Monitor Deebo Samuel's questionable tag. Maybe throw the game on at 5 o'clock because they'll tell you if he's playing or not then. And then lock this in, Luke McCaffrey.
Can I tell you, I don't want to drop a lot of money on this, but I'm willing to just put a little bit in right now. Because if Deebo goes down, they may adjust the line. I'm okay with this line with Deebo playing. Fat Deebo. I'm okay with this line with fat Deebo playing, okay? It's a legacy family. This is a family of athletes, okay?
It's athletes. It's just athletes. That's all it is, all right? Okay, let's get to our infamous weekly spider leg parlay. This is how you win tons of money, guys. This is you want a 9x real quick? You want a little 9x real quick? I whipped it up for you, all right? And if you think this is foolish, I've hit multiple ones of these this year. Ask my comrade over here, Dill.
Hey,
all right?
I'm not a communist or
time.
anything, but I know that he's 1 for 1 on these.
Listen, Bijan Robinson, 3 receptions. Do you look at that and do you get scared? I don't.
Yeah.
Think you do.
Yeah.
You get scared of that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I just want you to know that the Falcons will be playing from behind, and they will need to throw the ball.
Yeah.
Okay? You can check down to a man named Bijan. Love it. All day long.
Love
at
it.
least 3 times. Josh Allen, 25 rushing yards. All right? This is something that hits almost every week.
Mm-hmm.
All right? The only thing that would scare me in this bet is kneel downs at the end of the game, where he has 28 yards, kneels 3 times, and somehow gets 24. Right? That's a little scary.
If the line is a trap, that's not a problem.
I think that the NFL should adjust its rules so that a kneel down is not negative yardage towards running.
Well, the thing about the NFL and Vegas is their favorite thing to do is take money from hardworking American people, so they're not going to do that.
Yeah. Okay. Josh Allen, 2 passing touchdowns. Really like that one. I think he might throw 5 tonight. I need him to. I hope MM is watching.
Yep.
Khalil Shakir, 3 catches.
That's doable.
Yeah, it's
Very
doable. I mean, listen, he does spread the ball around, Joshy boy, but I think Khalil's still his favorite target. He definitely looks at Coleman. He definitely looks at his tight ends, but I think Shakir, he's just a sneaky little guy. Rome Odunze, 50 yards in the air. I like it. He's obviously Caleb's favorite target. I think he's going to get 50 yards. I think he could get 120. So I like 50. This is a sneaky pick. This is Zacchaeus. Alamide Zacchaeus played for the Commanders. Now he's on the Bears. And Caleb Williams is spreading the ball around. So he looks at Zacchaeus. I think he could hit him. I don't know where DJ Moore's been all year. It's not on the Chicago Bears roster.
It's 2 receptions.
It's 2 receptions.
It's 2 receptions. I could get 2 receptions in the NFL.
That's what I'm saying. Next up, Jaden Daniels, 25 rushing yards.
Can we just stop really quickly?
Sure.
These nuts in your mouth wants a high.
Hey, these nuts in your mouth. It's good to see a high.
Hi, these nuts in your mouth.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, that's good. Back to Jaden Daniels, 25 rushing yards. Guys, I think this is a pretty easy bet. Jaden's going to get busy. I hope his knee's okay. I don't know. Maybe he won't get busy.
He's going to get 33 rushing yards and 1.5 concussions.
And 1.5 concussions. Zach Ertz, 20 yards in the air. You might think that's a little dangerous, but Jaden Daniels, remember, he did get injured. He wasn't playing. He definitely looks at Ertz, especially in the red zone. I think Zach Ertz bounced back game after a goose egg last week. 20 yards, no problem. And now you just turned $10 into 90. Let's get back to Dappz Live, please.
Let's get into the stories from the weekend.
Unfortunately for everyone, the Chiefs are back, baby. Chiefs are back, 3-3. The Chiefs kind of dominated the 4-1 Detroit Lions Sunday night. Mahomes was doing Mahomes things. Chris Collinsworth came while talking about Mahomes. It was a little ridiculous, by the way.
Chris Collinsworth covering Mahomes games is one of the most annoying experiences, wall to wall, just in existence. Okay, the Thursday night crew is horrible, but Chris Collinsworth watching the Chiefs is maybe worse.
Still, I don't know if you were watching at this point in the game, but Mahomes ran this 3rd down, and he he gets hit, and then he stays up, and then he goes again to get another yard or 2, gets hit again, and Chris Collinsworth is like, what quarterbacks in the league do this?
15 of them do that, Collinsworth.
And I'm just like, bro, what? Stop glazing. Stop.
This guy's a fighter. I mean, what quarterback does that?
This really feels like yesteryear of the Chiefs, yesteryear of Chris Collinsworth. But the Chiefs really did, manhandle the Lions, who were rolling 4-1. The Chiefs were, I believe, 2-3. Now they're 3-3, and the Lions are 4-2. And when you think about, now we're starting to get into the middle of the NFL season, by the way, 4-2 and 3-3 are basically the same record.
It's the same thing.
Right?
It's
so
one game.
Everybody freaks out the first 4 weeks. The sky is falling on every single play. And even the 1-5 or 1-6 Ravens, who you might go, they're done. 2 wins, 3-6. Like, I know that's not, or 3-5. Like, I know it's not a great place to be, but Lamar Jackson can beat anybody.
Matt, they're done.
We'll see. We'll see if Lamar comes back. But back to the Lions Chiefs. Bullshit calls. Montgomery to Goff in the first called back. The Chiefs had 0 penalties last night, which is definitely concerning. I mean, look at the outfit the ref was wearing last night. Ridiculous. But seriously, what I don't like is on the play that Montgomery threw the touchdown to Goff. Guess what?
What?
The Chiefs were offside. So Chris Jones lined up in the neutral zone. That doesn't get called. And you know what? It's fine if it doesn't get called and you're not calling plays all game. But for it to not get called, and then also in addition to that, the Chiefs actually committed the first penalty. A little ridiculous.
There's a couple of things at play here. One, the NFL just has stupid rules sometimes. They're just like, this is a rule?
Well, and it's also it's in addition, or I don't even want to call it stupid rules. This seems like a fixable rule.
Get in the comments. Let us know your least favorite rules.
Yeah, let us know your least favorite NFL rule. And remember, guys, the rules, the rules that are so stupid, they could make adjustments to the. Oh, we fucked up. Let's fix it mid-game.
So what is this arbitrary rule where you can't have a flea flicker to a quarterback if the quarterback stays steady for 1 second before the play? Like, what kind of rule is that? That makes no sense. It's like this is an unbeatable play if the quarterback is stationary for 1 second. It's so stupid.
No, it's so stupid, and it's like, let's just be creative on offense, please.
But also, we have this narrative that I feel like we're collectively gaslit a lot about, where the Chiefs get the same calls as everybody else, and I'll not have it
not
anymore.
Last night. And also for the Chiefs to have 0 penalties, that's a problem. That's a problem.
0.
So the Chiefs get Rashee Rice back next week. Also, if things weren't going to get worse for any Chiefs haters, he caused a 50-car pileup and fled the scene, so he got 6 games, but he's back. They don't have the easiest schedule. Raiders, Commanders, Bills, Broncos, Colts, Cowboys. How many of these games do these win? You know what, though? Listen, this is not an easy schedule, but I guarantee you all of these teams are not excited to play the Kansas City Chiefs. Nobody wants to play Mahomes. Nobody wants Chris Jones chasing you down every play like an absolute madman. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, I think the worst that happens is the Chiefs split them, and then they're 6-6.
I hate to say this. I think it's 6-0. I really do. I think it's 6-0.
The only teams I see really beating them are their division rival Broncos on some weird shit because they'll probably split games with them this year, and potentially the Bills. I just don't think the Commanders are good. The Raiders stink. The Cowboys stink. The Colts, again,
they're not. This is what separates like exciting good teams from professional teams. When the Colts and the Chiefs play, the Chiefs win 7, 8 out of 10.
Yeah, and listen, here's my thing, and I almost texted you yesterday because I know you're on the Colts. I'm watching Jacoby Brissett beat the Colts in the fourth quarter. Colts end up coming back, win the game, which is what you should do if you're a good team. Very nice. But if the Colts are going to get the attention that they're getting, you should beat the Cardinals by 2 touchdowns, be up the whole game, dominate them. You're letting a guy, Jacoby Brissett, who is not the starter, come in and almost beat you. All I'm saying is you're not beating Patrick Mahomes.
No, you're not. But it's important to remember that Jacoby Brissett is a much better quarterback than Kyler Murray.
Well,
these nuts in my mouth will give you another high.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
A little skirmish at the end of the Chiefs game, too,
fun.
that we
this
didn't even
was
go
a lot
over.
of fun. Yeah,
this was wild. Pat tries to dap up Brian Branch, who's a D-back on the Lions. This picture should go in the Louvre, by the way.
Yeah.
One of the most fine players in the NFL. Branch ignores Mahomes' dap. He says, no daps.
Which I get, because, like, fuck you guys. You got 0 penalties this game, and you just lost.
I'm not happy. Juju gets in his face. Branch punches him in the face. Mahomes, we play the game between the whistles. Check this out.
What happened there at the end of the game?
I mean, we play the game in between the whistles. They can do all the extracurricular stuff they want to do, but we play the game in between the whistles. We thought we played a great game today, and we'll keep this momentum moving forward.
Yeah, so I don't like this from Branch. I saw his post interview afterwards, Dylan. What he said was somebody blocked him in the back. It was a dangerous play right in front of the ref, and the ref didn't call it. This is back to what we were just discussing, which is, can we please get some calls on the Chiefs? I mean, having 0 penalties is a bad look for the NFL, for the Chiefs, for officiating. I mean, I'm not a fan of calling penalties when they don't exist. I'm a fan of, listen, there's certain referee crews, Dill, that call more penalties than others, right? If the whole game is called consistently, if there's just flags every other play, that's what they do.
It's annoying, but that's
right.
what they do.
That's what they do. If there's another crew where, like, they let them play and they don't call as much, that's fine too. But what you can't have is that first play where the Chiefs are clearly in the neutral zone, offsides, it doesn't get called, and then you call a bullshit illegal motion on the Lions.
And get in the comments, let us know if you think the Chiefs get breaks from the refs. I mean, there are so many examples of it happening in a really, really egregious way. I mean, the phantom flag against Burrow in the AFC Championship is probably the biggest, most impactful one, but they just get so many calls. It's so frustrating. They're already good enough, but I want to see the Detroit Lions and the Kansas City Chiefs play each other again.
0, yeah. Jose says 0 penalties is crazy, and it is crazy. It really is. Goodell, these two teams hate each other. Make this Super Bowl happen. The 25 New York Jets could be the worst team of all time. Hard to pick a worst game of the Jets season. This might have been it. Did you watch the Jets-Broncos game? If so, you may be entitled to compensation. I, thankfully, in Los Angeles, was asleep. Woke up at halftime, checked my stats, the box score. I was about to throw the game on and go back to sleep, and it said we had -4 passing yards. And I thought, why would I put this game on? It was 6-3. Thrilling game. 13-11. 13-11, Dale. Justin Fields, 45 yards in there. One more time. 45 yards in the air. Not Justin Fields rushed for 45 yards. 45 passing yards. Dylan, the Jets had -10 passing yards. The worst in Jets history. Worst in almost 30 years.
I want to just apologize to all of the people in England that went to go see this game. We do hate you. We broke away from your kooky ways, okay? And then you still think that you're our parents, but you're not, okay? We're America, and we export.
We're your dad now.
We're your dad now,
Yeah.
and we exported a awful product to you on Sunday, and I want to apologize.
It's
for that.
kind of like maybe like when you go off to college and your parents send you like a basket maybe or like a little bundle they put together of like foods and treats that
Some
they think you
Clorox
would
wipes.
like. But like it's the gross off-brand and like maybe it's like expired. And,
Yeah.
Nothing's good and like and you're supposed to be grateful that you got a gift.
Right.
Like your parents thought of you. They sent you a package, but the package was ass.
Yeah,
The package stinks.
They sent you condoms, and you're like, "Oh, I don't want that. I don't want that."
Use that, Mom.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Got it. Okay. Aaron Glenn asked Fields will be the starter moving forward. Check it.
Justice's numbers are not good from this game. Is
No.
he going to be your quarterback next week, or would you
Come
consider?
on, man. What kind of question is that?
Look, he did not have a good game. I mean, I think it's a fair
There's a
question.
number of guys that, I mean, sometimes this league is like this, and there are guys that have bad games. That doesn't mean you just bench them. Come on, you know better than that.
I'm not a fan of Aaron Glenn as the head coach of the Jets. I'll put that on record, but I am a fan of his answer here. I thought that was a very polished, appropriate, professional answer. A lot of these reporters try to rage bait and create tension and drama between their players, between their coaches, their staff, whoever. And
Such a gross question to ask.
It's such a gross
Ugh.
question. And to be honest, he should have went at Aaron Glenn, not at Justin Fields. Hey, you're not really calling the best plays out there, Aaron. You're not really putting your team in a position to score points there, Aaron. Aaron, why didn't you kick a 60-yard field goal on 4th down to win the game? You let Justin Fields try to convert a 4th and 8. So you can't simultaneously go, Justin Fields is bad. It's 4th and 8. Let's put the ball in Justin Fields' hands.
Who's been sacked 9 times.
And listen, he definitely holds the ball too long. He definitely had some open receivers. But, again, if I'm the Jets and I'm in charge of play calling, I'm calling plays for Justin Fields to run the ball, to gain 5 yards, play action, scramble. I'm not seeing this. I'm never seeing it from the Jets. He's dynamic with his legs, and it seems like they're trying to turn him into a pocket passer, which a lot of teams try to do. And you ruin your chances at winning. You ruin what your play calling looks like, and you also ruin Justin Fields' career, which is very, very unfortunate. One of the worst 2-minute drills in history of the game of football. Absolutely.
Did you watch this?
I did. And then I watched Garrett Wilson and Aaron Glenn got into it on the sideline as well.
Yeah, so this was absolutely bananas. I mean, they just let the clock run and run and run. And Garrett Wilson goes up to Aaron Glenn and is just like, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? And this points to a really, really toxic and broken culture in this organization, because this is going to be on camera. There's already so much heat. This is going to be a massive story. And Garrett Wilson's just so pissed off that he doesn't even care. He's just going up to his coach going, what the fuck are we doing?
Well, not only that, but when you talk about culture, Dill, and how toxic it is, the irony of all of this is that Aaron Rodgers was flown across the country to have a meeting with Aaron Glenn, who straight up disrespect to his face, 4-time MVP. Aaron Glenn, by the way, has no business talking to Aaron Rodgers as in terms of like football to football, like mano-a-mano. You're a cornerback who played on bad teams. Maybe you got to the AFC Championship with Bill Parcells once or twice. But Aaron Rodgers is a 4-time MVP, Super Bowl champion. Like the amount of disrespect that Aaron Rodgers gets in the media is insane. Like he didn't do all of that.
He's also a Super Bowl champion in the Brady era. That's hard to do.
And then, by the way, he comes to the Jets. They're 2-3, and they fire Robert Saleh. So I just want to put that in perspective.
For wearing a Libyan or a Syrian patch or something. Well, I don't know what it was for. But
I don't know, but all I know is that Aaron Rodgers had 5 full games with his head coach before he got the axe, and we were 2-3. And now we're 0-6. 0-6. So the culture that because Aaron Glenn said to Aaron Rodgers, we don't think you're a cultural fit here. We don't think you fit the culture. And he was right. Aaron Rodgers has never lost fucking 6 games in a row. All right? It's absolutely horrible how the Jets are run. It's an absolute joke.
They were 2-3 when that happened. When that happened, the Chiefs were 2-3 going into Sunday night.
You can bounce back from 2-3
very easily.
Very easily. Garrett Wilson had no idea what was going on.
This interview is absolutely insane. Can we roll this because it's mind-blowing?
At the end of the first half, when you were walking off the field, was that the way the drive went?
Well, really, that stuff like that is just, I don't know, y'all. I just didn't know exactly what the plan was, and once I figured it out, I was disappointed. I'll just say that. So, yeah.
How do you run a play? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I didn't know exactly what the plan was. I just thought we were, once we converted the 4th down, I just thought we were going for the trying to make the play, and then obviously we get to another 4th down, and it's a tough spot to be in. So, in hindsight, I get why they did that, but in the moment, I was just like, man, I don't know. Yeah.
I think it's poor Garrett Wilson. He's trying not to say the wrong thing here, obviously.
Yeah.
He's trying to be a good team player, but what he's also saying is he's asking what was the plan, right? And when we figured out what the plan was, he was disappointed. And I'm trying to, as a Jets fan, figure out, what does that mean? Is Aaron Glenn tanking? Is he just trying not to win?
Yeah.
What is he doing?
It's a good question. It's really, I think that this isn't paid the attention that it deserves. The star offensive player of the team did not know what was happening at the end of a 2-minute drill.
And you know what? And the other thing is that, listen, there's been years where I'm like, let's tank to get Trevor Lawrence, by the way, that year. I was like, let's get Trevor Lawrence. This year, I don't know who the elite quarterback is coming out of college.
It's not Arch Manning.
There's no elite quarterback. So, in most years, I'm like, tank, whatever. I still think, listen, I don't know if I'm necessarily rooting for a win as a Jets fan. I'm not rooting for a win because I want a worse pick, but I'm kind of rooting for a win. Like, guys, you got to get one win.
No, you should just tank the season and stop worrying about quarterbacks. You have a good quarterback. Get a better offensive line.
Dear God, Jets fan here. I'm just trying to be happy on a Sunday. What do I have to do? I'll do it. Baker Mayfield is winning MVP. The Bucs dominate the 49ers at home. Baker Mayfield is the Cam Scattaboo of quarterbacks.
I feel like maybe Cam Scattaboo is the Baker Mayfield of running backs, but this play is just disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
He's him. You know when they say he is him, like Baker Mayfield is
That's
him.
Good.
He is that guy.
We don't need to watch this anymore. It just
I could
makes
watch
me
that
sad.
all day, to be honest. Like, he is just so good. 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 9 touchdowns and 1 interception on the season, and the one loss came to the Eagles and that 1 interception. I am such a Baker Mayfield guy. So, Dill, I'll take you back to the 2018 NFL draft. The Jets had the 6th pick. The Browns were 1. The Giants were 2. And I thought that the Jets were going. Sorry, we had the 3rd pick. I thought that the Jets were going to get Baker Mayfield because he was projected underneath Sam Darnold that year. He was projected underneath. It was either Josh Allen or another quarterback and Saquon. And then with 2 weeks before the draft, Baker was like, Baker's going 1. The whole dynamic, the whole projection of the draft changed. And I'm like, what the fuck? As a Jets fan, like I thought we were getting Baker. That was the guy I wanted. I watched him go to the Browns. He takes to the Browns to the playoffs for the first time in 30 years, whatever, and wins a playoff game.
They thought he was Tim Tebow. He was not Tim Tebow.
And he gets completely disrespected. They signed Deshaun Watson, probably the worst sports contract in history.
In history.
In any sport.
And the Browns are currently paying 8 quarterbacks.
And they could have had this guy. And by the way,
they had him.
He would have rode for that city where nobody wants to be. Baker would have been like grit and iron and spit.
Spit,
you know,
spit too. Yeah, right? yeah. And who did the Jets get in that draft?
Oh, they drafted Sam Darnold. Who was horrible on the Jets and has been a immense success everywhere else he's went.
And then who was the next quarterback they drafted?
Zach Wilson, actually. Yeah, they drafted Zach Wilson 3 years later, and he's a backup now for Tua Tagovailoa, who doesn't know the difference between a watermelon and a cheeseburger.
Where did Josh Rosen go?
Josh Rosen claimed that he was the best quarterback in the entire draft. He got drafted by the Cardinals. I think he lasted 6 months.
Listen, I'm a Jew. You're a Jew. You don't draft Jews in the NFL. Okay, it doesn't work. Okay,
very, very foolish. And also Baker, why he's so good, does it without Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Bucky Irving, and Egbuka went down in the middle of the game. Baker is literally throwing to tuna cans in the end zone.
Jeez.
And he threw a touchdown to this kid Tez Johnson, who thought the MVP chants in the stands were for him. Hysterical.
I'm gonna tell y'all a funny story. This is crazy. When I score and I hear MVP chant, I'm thinking they talking about me. So I asked Shep. I'm like, Shep, they was chanting MVP? He was like, yeah. I was like, I ain't do nothing this year. And then he was like, they talking about Baker, Tez. I was like, well, that explains it. But he is the MVP. The one he got the first down on, he said he blacked out. But I mean, that's just Baker.
So he went on to talk, in high regards about Baker in this interview, and it's really cool because Baker's play is resonating with the younger guys on the team and his teammates, and they're like, he is him. He is him. And for your teammates to say that about you when, you have these situations in Philadelphia with A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts, like, it's not like all guys just get along, right? So what you're doing in the locker room, what you're doing on the field, Baker Mayfield is a leader.
I think the MVP odds for him, I think he's 2nd or 3rd behind Patrick Mahomes, which, it makes sense, right? Because Patrick Mahomes is probably going to win the Super Bowl. But Baker at plus 480 MVP right now.
Well, I mean, listen, you might be seeing a repeat Buccaneers-Chiefs. Brady versus Mahomes, and now
oh my gosh,
Baker versus Mahomes.
Versus Mahomes.
That could definitely happen, guys. Eagles turmoil in the city of brotherly love.
Yeah.
Speaking of injury-riddled teams, though, the 49ers, another massive injury blow. First, it's Nick Bosa, Brock Purdy, Ricky Pearsall, George Kittle. I mean, it's like, does the list ever end?
Juwan Jennings is playing with 5 broken ribs.
And they're saying he's their healthiest receiver.
He's playing with 5 broken ribs.
And
if
now
you've ever broken 1 rib, you know what it feels like to just get up from a couch, let alone run a slant and get drilled by safety.
Jose is also asking, wonder how the Browns feel letting go of Baker. And now, though, back to the Niners, their best defensive player, Fred Warner, out for the year. Breaks his ankle. Even their kicker is going down.
Yeah, this video is absolutely insane. Their kicker gets stepped on.
Why are his feet so small?
The-
I thought this was AI. I thought somebody miniaturized this human being.
The disparity in foot size here is it's Snoopy shit.
What is that? I still don't believe that's real. Like
That's real.
Those are the same shoes too. Look, the Nikes are the same shoes.
Yeah. Oh, the vapes. Yeah, they look like vapors.
What is going on?
Beautiful, beautiful cleat.
It's sad. It's sad. The Niners are an incredible team, but they cannot win anything with this many injuries. I mean, and then also it's like, oh, well, Brock Purdy comes back. Maybe you have a chance. Like, I'd rather have Mac Jones with Fred Warner and Bosa than Brock Purdy without Bosa. And you know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah, another huge game from Kendrick Bourne.
I just don't know what they do. I don't know what they do. I honestly feel pretty bad for Kyle Shanahan because it looks like he's aging 5 years every game on the sideline. He's just looking like. And by the way, they just recently played the Dre Greenlaw injury in the championship game or whatever it was in the Super Bowl where like he ran out and tore his ACL on the sideline.
He's aging faster than Obama did at the end of his presidency.
Seriously. And somehow the old man, Christian McCaffrey, the person that everybody said wouldn't stay healthy is the only one who is healthy on this team. I mean, when it rains, it pours. Rico Dowdle gets his revenge. Rico for MVP?
All joking aside, if he did this a bunch more times, he'd be in contention.
Chubak Hubbard, we've got Rico Dowdle. We're all good, all right? With one of the coldest takes of the day, Rico told the Cowboys last week to buckle up. They didn't listen.
They did not.
Rico, if your message last week was buckle up to the Cowboys, what's your message after the game?
They weren't buckled up.
Rico, if your message...
Also, great professional response. Rico, he's not taking crazy shots.
I love Rico Dowdle.
This guy's awesome. And by the way, maybe the story of the year that nobody's talking about, Dill. The Carolina Panthers are 3-3. The Carolina Panthers, who I think everyone in their head thinks haven't won a game, are 3-3. Bryce Young, nobody talks about him. I mean, he's not doing anything crazy. He's obviously got Rico Dowdle going for 200-plus yards.
Yeah, and let's because we'll get into all of the Panthers, but really quickly, what Rico Dowdle is doing is pretty nuts. Rico Dowdle became the first player with over 200 yards from scrimmage in back-to-back games since Dalvin in 2020, so half a decade. The running game, I don't know if it's the running game unlocking the Panthers or if it's the Cowboys unlocking every single team they play, because these Bryce Young numbers are actually pretty nuts when trailing the Cowboys.
Well, I mean, listen, you got Bryce Young when trailing the Cowboys, 10 for 10, 125 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, perfect passer rating. Listen, maybe, and this is where you can't write guys off, because Bryce Young was so bad his rookie year. They brought in Andy Dalton, remember, like so bad. And I don't know if it was the coaching. I don't know if he needed time to kind of like understand the NFL, but you can't just write a guy off after a year, right? You can't just write a guy off after six weeks.
It looked like we were going to write him off because the Bryce Young interviews during that kind of tumultuous period were some of the saddest things we've seen in NFL history. This little kid who was just getting interviewed by the press talking about his faith in God, and he was just getting benched, and it was super sad. He's back. He is a very, very good wide receiver in Teteroa McMillan, and Rico Dowdle is the best running back in the NFL. So, give me the Panthers to win the NFC South.
Pretty wild. If Baker wasn't in that division, I'd probably agree. So the Falcons have 3 wins on the year. They beat the Panthers have 3 wins on the year. They beat the Falcons 30-0.
30-0.
They beat the Dolphins last week by 3, and now they beat the Cowboys by 3. I don't know if the Panthers can keep this up. I think the games they lost are pretty ugly. They lost to the Jags by 16. They lost to the Patriots by 28. Cardinals by 5. But listen, good work, Carolina. I think you're overachieving, right? Like doing a good job. This is a situation where the coach has to get some type of credit here, all right? Trade Bucky and White for Saquon. I think it's a great time to do that. Yes, do that for sure.
I would do that.
Saquon's going to bounce back or he's going to tear his ACL.
Yeah.
But
Let's talk about the Cowboys.
Let's
real
talk about
quick.
the Cowboys were -3, and I told everybody last week, I'm glad it's on film, that the Cowboys were the trap of the week. We're going to have to make a social edit to put that up to let everybody know. Trap of the week. The Cowboys can do nothing significant with the defense this bad.
Yeah, can we let's look at this. This graphic is insane.
That is insane, Dill. 400 yards on both sides of the ball is absolutely insane. You're averaging 400 yards per game on offense without CeeDee Lamb, and you're allowing 420 yards on defense.
First and last.
This is pretty wild because the Cowboys have been such a good defensive team for the last 5 years. Remember, Dan Quinn was their defensive coordinator, gets hired in Washington last year. So he's out, and you can see how they suffer since he's gone. But I think we got to stop calling the Cowboys America's team. They're losing to the fucking Carolina Panthers. NFL lightning round, Dill. A couple stories from around the league this weekend. Anthony Richardson breaks his orbital bone by smashing a rubber band into his face. Like, what is going on, Dylan?
Yeah. So you have a pretty expensive Anthony Richardson card, correct?
It was expensive.
How much did you pay for it?
We pulled it in a break, so a couple $100. Got a $30,000 offer, maybe 25.
Okay, and you said no way.
Pass.
I
said pass. It's worth 40.
Fast forward 6 months or a year, and he is talking about how exhausting the NFL is. Fast forward another 6 months. He is doing band work before a game that he's not going to play in because Daniel Jones is better. And one of the bands snaps, he's strong, hits him in the eye, breaks his orbital bone. Now, I want to say, that's scary. I mean, imagine being Anthony Richardson in that moment.
Imagine being that stupid.
Rubber bands are difficult to control.
I don't have any sympathy for this guy. This guy is constantly in the papers for the wrong reason. And there's no more papers anymore. All right? It's all digital now.
Yeah.
But this guy's in the papers every week. All right?
Yeah.
Mike McDaniels has to get fired soon. What is going on with Mike? I don't want him to get fired because I love watching him. I love watching him.
Yeah, we went out there to win the game, and when you aren't winning the game, it's difficult because what you set out to do isn't being accomplished, and that's why we lost the game.
Miami this year gets absolutely dominated by the Colts. They lose week 1, 33-8. They play the Patriots tough. They lose by a touchdown. They lost by 6 that game. They play the Bills tough. They lose by 10. They were in it, though. Who do they beat? The New York Jets by 6.
Mm-hmm.
They lose to the Panthers by 3. They lose to the Chargers by 2. In 2 games, by the way, that the Dolphins could have won. The Dolphins could be 3-3 very easily. They should have beat the Panthers. They drove down the field, fourth quarter, score, but then their defense lets up a touchdown. They lose, and the same thing happened against the Chargers. They went up. I think Herbert had like 40 seconds. Threw a pass to McConkey, 40 yards, like it was nothing.
And then
so
Harbaugh,
easy.
I'll think about that till they throw dirt on top of me. You suck. Your team sucks. Chargers are not making the playoffs.
The Chargers are 100% making
They're
the playoffs.
not going to make the playoffs.
They are 4-2.
Tua had this bizarre post-game press conference that you're just like, every week, I don't know who is more concussed, him or his coach, but let's listen to this.
I gotta see it.
Yeah, well, I think it starts with the leadership in helping articulate that for the guys, and then what we're expecting out of the guys, right? We're expecting this. Are we getting that? Are we not getting that? We have guys showing up to player-only meetings late, guys not showing up to player-only meetings. Like, there's a lot that goes into that. Do we have to make this mandatory? Do we not have to make this mandatory? So it's a lot of things of that nature that we got to get cleaned up, and it starts with the little things like that.
Yeah, Tua is definitely has lost a couple brain cells, but I don't know if he's taking a shot at McDaniels here or his play,
even if he's
teammates.
not intending to. You got to know if you're the quarterback of a franchise, a losing franchise, saying there's a leadership problem in this building. That's not a good look for your coach.
Yeah, I mean it's Tua has no idea what a good look is or what is he's lost, bro. He's in a different realm. Like he's in a time continuum or some type of quantum leap state.
He's
like looking at people through a lens. Like he's just not seeing what we see.
Yes. No. His life is narrated by Rod Serling. He is in the fucking Twilight Zone.
Yeah. The weirdest thing is happening. The Giants aren't boring, and America loves them.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's really weird.
Bro, what's crazy is that like I kind of love them. Jackson Dart and Scatterbo are fun. They're just fun.
What is 6'7"?
Between the 6'7" Smash Bros and Jackson Dart's hot mom, we've also got an owner going through cancer. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I don't know what 6'7" is.
Dart and Scatterbo keep saying 6'7", but this moment in the locker room after the Thursday night game was so heartwarming, and there's nothing to not love about the New York Giants. Let's roll this.
Hey, to run it out there at the end, that's awesome. Now, that's tough. All right, that is tough. New York football. That is tough. I'm going to tell you what. There's one tough son of a in here. His name's John Mara.
I got two things to say. One, I'm telling you, all the chemo and all the radiation in the world doesn't have the same effect as this. And the next thing I'll say is, see you on Monday.
Really cool moment. Really, really cool moment for Mara, who, by the way, is the kind of, I wish I could say is the opposite of the Jets owner because he has 2 incredible Super Bowl wins. But remember, the Giants have done nothing in the last 15 years. They've been absolutely horrid. They've resembled the Jets in many ways. And now, finally, after all this time, they draft Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo in the same draft, who are like the coolest, most fun 2 players to have, who are dancing and jumping and having fun playing football, which you wish like Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith were having fun playing football.
You can't have fun with Jalen Hurts and you can't have fun with A.J. Brown, okay? Jalen Hurts is not a fun person, and A.J. Brown is an annoying diva. I love the Giants. They've always been a boring franchise. Even when they won Super Bowls, they were a boring franchise. Cam Scatterbo, I think part of my take did a great bit about how John Mara, when he watches this team, it's a little bit like the dean looking at a frat that's just gotten way out of hand. But this frat could make him even more money. A less heartwarming story, though.
Brian Callahan was fired maybe an hour ago from the Tennessee Titans. Some people are shocked. Orlovsky and Pat McAfee were live, and they seem to be shocked. I don't know what's so shocking about it. He's 1-5.
Yeah.
4-19. He got hired last season, so this wasn't his first year. He didn't get fired after going 1-5. He is 4-19 since taking the job. Cam Ward publicly last week made statements, not directly at Callahan, but about leadership, the organization. Like, hey, is the culture here like they don't give a shit if we're losing? Like, I want to win. I want to play ball.
Right.
And they're not playing ball. Their offensive line is a joke. Whose fault is it? I don't know, but they pinned it on Callahan.
There's not a lot you can do with Will Levis. Like, Will Levis just did insanely stupid things. But I do kind of feel bad for Callahan because he's been in a shitty position for the better part of 365 days. With that being said, he doesn't know all of the rules of the NFL, and he's a horrible coach. So
yeah, and this is a guy who is an offensive coordinator in Cincinnati under Joe Burrow. So it's like, this is what happens. Adam Gase got hired as the Jets coach years ago. You probably don't even know who that is because he was the offensive coordinator of Peyton Manning, right? And then these quarterbacks who are so good at what they do, they make people believe that, oh, you're the offensive coordinator. You're pretty good. You're not good.
No,
Callahan, you're not good. You might be good as an offensive coordinator with a great quarterback.
There's a difference between being an OC for a good quarterback and Kevin O'Connell, who will take bad quarterbacks and make them good.
And this is a guy, by the way, who was a quarterbacks coach on the Lions, the Raiders, and then gets the coordinator position in Cincinnati in 2019. He's going to have a job, but he's not a head coach. Some guys aren't a head coach, and this is Aaron Glenn is one of them. This is another one, right?
Yeah.
Joe Flacco is still playing football. And to be honest, the Bengals looked better on offense.
They did.
Like, they looked a little better. They're playing the Green Bay Packers. Nobody expects them to win. He got Jamar Chase involved. He got T. Higgins involved, Chase Brown, like all these fantasy guys. At least people can be happy that, hey, they're scoring a couple points. And he was asked before the weekend, why are you still doing this? This was his answer.
I just feel like I have like a lot to offer to a football team. I feel like I've put in a lot of work my whole life to get to this point, in just terms of playing in the NFL in general. And I hopefully will have a long life when I'm done, but you only get a chance to play in the NFL once. And I feel like I've worked really hard, like I said, to be a guy that gets to play in the NFL, and I don't want to take that for granted. I still feel like I can play the game at a high level, and I want to be able to look at myself in the mirror when I'm 50 years old and be able to say that, I gave it.
All right. Well, you are 50 years old, essentially. He's worth $85 million. If I'm his wife, I can't even tell you how angry I am.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I love the answer. A lot of professional answers over the last week or two.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of professionals in this league. Joe Flacco season, listen, you as a kid, middle school, high school, into college, you dream of being an NFL player, and I think all he's saying is, like, once I'm done, it's over. Like, I'm not going back to the NFL. I'm not unretiring. Like, that's it. It's amazing that he's been in the league this long. Super Bowl MVP or Super Bowl champion, by the way. I think he won the MVP. So, like, you're not going to do that again, obviously, but the guy has been to the peak of football, the highest level.
He's been to Disneyland.
And listen, I have no problems with this. Like, he was a backup. He was basically a backup for a couple years, and then they realized, oh, he could actually start still, right? He's still better than he's a top 30 guy in the NFL at 40 years old.
Yeah.
You have teams trading for this guy.
Right. Yeah, no, he's like Trent Dilfer, but better.
He's better. The Jets had him. And, like, I just had a thought, like, would I rather have Joe Flacco right now than Justin Fields? And I don't know, but
no.
But you know what's crazy though, Dale, is we might have a win with Joe Flacco.
Well, listen,
we might have one win.
He's a savvy vet.
He's a savvy vet.
Savvy vet. You can't teach that.
And you know what? You could have kept a savvy vet until you drafted the right guy, which the Jets don't know how to do. I think we know the real answer though. Joe Flacco just hates his family. He doesn't want to go home, right? He just wants to stay on the field so he doesn't have to hang out with his kids. That's our show, guys. Dappz Live every day, 12 p.m. Pacific. The cookbook today, right after the show. General Managers Tuesday at 4 p.m. Up or down, Thursdays at noon. We will see you